Hello guys, my name is Dennis and I'm the founder of D.M Technologies, and we are a Sage reseller. We do licensing and implementation for Sage products, which include Sage 100, 250 and Sage Pastel, and we also sell Microsoft products like the Windows OS, which is 10 and 11, and you also have Windows Server for SQL, and that is the server, and Windows Server still, and Office Suite. Okay, so our other services are include accounting and bookkeeping, IT support, and Sage support. Okay, those are our products and services. So for today's video, I will be taking you through the purchase cycle or the procurement cycle, which includes raising a PO, receiving items in the system, processing supply invoice and payments. So after this video, we should be able to go through the whole cycle of PO, GRV, supply invoice, getting reports for supply for the purchases, and the statements of the supplier. Okay, so the first thing you do is create a new supplier, of course. So let's start to a sample. Okay, usually easy. So let's select suppliers. So we are using the suppliers stock purchases module, as you have it's indicated here on the bar. Okay, maybe I can repeat for you so that you see the whole module. Okay, so here supply invoice, and select suppliers maintenance. Okay, so add a new supplier. So let's sample out a simple supplier, say GTC Limited. So for the code, which is this is the supplier code, so we usually give it a code, not a full name, so it is a 6 code. The first at least 2 or 3 names of both of the accounts. So the General Technologies Limited. Okay. This is just a simple name. So this supplier that we are opening a fresh account, so it is an open item rather than a balance brought forward. Okay. So the next one is to input the tax details. So things we can use 001 TYX TYU TLTX or 013 as a sample. The default might be the input tax, but this is not a must. As you can see, the tax is incorrect according to locally. That's just a sample. The contact details you might put main office. Which is 01 008. That's a sample. You can include the let's say domain info at gtc.co.ke, of course. This will be the email. Okay. In the web page will be just www.gtclimited.co.ke. Okay. So you can include a physical address like Nairobi, Kenya. Okay. So we say industry. Area. Nairobi. Maybe. Oh, correct it. Okay. I think that's clear. The postal address you can still indicate. Okay. Let's press OK. So the next step is to raise a PO. Okay, so this is a process flow for what's need to be done. So is to place purchase order. So we raise two, one for us to cancel and one for us to proceed and receive that the items that we deliver the services. Okay, so let's start with the first one. Okay, so we check type 1, of course. So we'll try and see which warehouse doesn't have any items, so the raw material. So we want 150. Okay, and the price is just 1000. Okay, and you want them to label for us the 100. Remember, this is a service item, so it's not really viable for selecting warehouse, and they're labeling us for 200 shillings. Okay, this is the date delivery or the order, that is. So this one will not really change. We can choose the default project. Okay, so you select here place order, but one final thing to see is that we have a function for adding notes on the PO. So let's say we can use the previous PO. Okay, and we edit it to deliver by 2nd of April 2026. Serves just as a reminder, not okay. Then we process place order, that is. So yeah, it's doing a bit. Okay, so this is the default template for the PO, but we can change it and modify according to your preferences, as you can see. Yes. Okay, that's the first one. Second one, you might use a different supplier. Okay. Oh, set a new one. Let's say use a different supplier, let's say advance, and you want them to label the 50 remaining. Remember, we are purchasing 150, so then label the rest of the 50. Okay, at 200, right? Yes. And place order. Okay. Same way. Same notes that you're maintaining. The same. We are ordering 50, so we haven't received any. So the next step is to how do we receive the items into the systems. Okay, so we process, or the same is this just the same way as process GRV. This is a goods received voucher. Okay, then we recall you can use two ways of filtering. So one is processed, then you select the date, then the supplier. So remember, we have two, so we start with the one that you receive is the general. So you find, okay, you can modify these columns so that you have maybe the amount. You don't need this column, you don't need this one, you don't need this one. Of course, you need the flag, the invoice number, but we might need the amount. Okay, so let's select invoice total inclusive. Okay, yes, so that one we might need, but it indicates the amount. Okay, for now it may not show, but it does show. So okay, let's cover it. Yes. So okay, so we save 150. Okay, then 100. Okay, then let's put the supplier invoice, which is maybe 8762. For the external order, we usually put the delivery note, so DL 8701. 87 is used the same because most of them are sequential. So they deliver, let's say they deliver fast. Okay, that's the first one. So for you to receive goods in the system, you usually use this function called the receive stock. So what you do is just receive the stock. You won't process the full invoice to appear on the supplier statement. It will just indicate the stocks have been received in the system. Okay, receive stock. Okay. So point to note is that the GRV is usually produced by the clerk at the store, which is the store clerk, and supply invoice usually produced in the system by the accounts clerk. So those two processes are most of the time they are quite separate, but you can get scenarios whereby one person is doing all of them. But for process and procedure uh, clarity, it's good to separate on that so that the store person can be responsible for receiving the stock the correct way, and the accountant can be responsible for making sure the supplier's statement is accurate. Okay, so let's recall it again for as maybe as a clerk so that we process it again. Okay, so let's indicate trades the same way. As you can see here, it's the supply invoice that is unprocessed. So I think we can recall it. The date is there. So what you need to do is to change the date here, or the GRV date. This should match the date of the of the invoice. Okay, delivery number, so it's okay. You can proceed to process the invoice. As you can see, this is the only function left. Okay, so you print this one, and for that document it should be fully done. So how can you verify that this amount has been credited to the supplier's account? Okay, let me show you. First, okay, let me highlight the other parts. Maybe you can use this side. Doing a bit back. Okay. Yes. So as you can see here, we have the reports. So reports, you go to remittance device. It's quite a heavy program, so it's understandable. Okay. So I think it's quite preset. So let's check for general trades. So what we are trying to do here is to confirm that the amount is on the supplier's account. So it's GRV 03 70,000, so it's okay. So how do we make sure that the payment has been posted, assuming that we were paying on delivery? So the suppliers was expecting a check the same day to go and bank the check for 70,000, because your agreement is that you're supposed to pay on delivery. Okay, so how do we do that? Okay, let's go to the process flow and see how system will guide us. Okay, as you can see, we started with the place order process. GRV, which is the place purchase order, which is the same as process supplier stock GRV. The GRV is the goods received voucher. Okay, so we can proceed to post the payment. Okay, so here on the cash book we have two form of payment. So one is the bank and the other is the M-Pesa. So that as on our scenario, we have said that assuming you wrote a check for 70,000. So how will you post it? So you click on the bank. Okay. Okay, we select the date. Say the date was first. Then which account is accounts payable. It was a general trade, general technical. Let us check 0032. As you have seen, it's 170,000 and this payment for GRV 003. Okay, so it's 170,000. I'm not wrong. Yeah, that's it. You can print it or you can stamp it as the invoice has been paid. So there are two ways. So the most important number will be, the most important part is that you are able to allocate this one. So let's pause it and allocate it. Okay, that should be the final step of the whole process. Okay, yes. So this is the check, and this is the GRB, allocate it. So the balance as of now is 0. So you can see debit and credit. You are cancelling the check and you save. Make sure you save, because when you pull the aging analysis, it will show you that you have current balance that are not being allocated. So it's quite important for accounting purposes. Okay, so the next step is, how do you cancel a PO that you've raised and you want to cancel and purge it onto the system? Okay, so for POs and order entries and quotations, they're usually on a module called order entry. This module, is the one that is responsible for the purchases and the quotations. So you'll find here you have that function of cancelling and purging order. So the first step is of course to cancel the order. So you start by recording. Okay, so we had the previous one, so we make sure you select the purchase order and process, because it has not yet been processed. Okay, so we are using P005. That's the last one, and you select the date from order of cancellation. So this is not really a must. Okay, so you can input the reason of the cancellation, which is wrong item ordered, buyer cancel, and data entry error, back order too long, wrong item. So for situation is buyer cancelled. The status of course is lost, but we are not indicated, so we can cancel it. Make sure these numbers are quite the same, because you can clear a lot of POs for your client or the company that you're working with, and it be a very disastrous occasion. So first, to make sure you take backups. I'll give you a tutorial later on taking backups. So let's proceed with this one. So you see this warning. So you confirm it is only one order that you're clearing. Okay, so you're cancelling that list. Okay. So to confirm that, there is a log message from Sage. Okay, you've seen this one. We've cancelled order number 005 with the ID of 13. Okay, let's close it. So how do we purge it? So that's the next step. Purge orders. Okay, it was this advanced P005. Remember, this is quite very important that you make sure these are the same. So it is unprocessed. Oh, it was cancelled, that is. Okay, so yes. Okay, I think that's quite clear. Yeah, so even if you go and search this one, let's try and search and see. It was PO004. Let's try and search it and see if you can recall the PO, because you've already purged, so it should be out of the system. That's the final test. Okay. PO. Okay. P 005. Let's try and see how, if you call the other one so that you know we have the right number. P, so we have 1 2 3 4. P 000 or PO is PO 005. Yes, so it's cleared, not on the system. So that process has been done. The next bit is to show you how to retrieve the reports for the suppliers. Okay, so you go to the suppliers module, it is selected. Let's push the process flow to get the full list. Okay, reports. So the first one, I think I've already demonstrated the remittance to check the supplier statement. The next one is the full list of the balances that suppliers owe you, which is the aging analysis. So this is how you just set it. So as of, let's say first, you can exclude zero balances. Yes, so you don't have any balances, but you can review as all balances. Okay, so we have two suppliers and we have zero balances, but this is how the report looks like, the default report template. Okay, so that's the first one. Okay, the second one is on the order entry, which is the purchase order report. Okay, so we have the first one, which is this one. You can select from 29th, start with the detailed, it's fully confirmed. Okay, yes, to let's say 5th that. See, so how many reports have we, how many POs have we raised? So let's see, taking quite a bit. Okay, so these are the POs. So PO 002, 004. So let's put it on a summary to be a bit looking better. Yes, so as you can see, we have a summary. So these are the suppliers, the stocks, the quantity that you have, the order quantity that you ordered, the unit price, the total, the confirmed. Okay, so this is a very simple report that can be able to help you analyze your purchases and or have a proper plan of getting the reorder levels and everything. Okay, this will be able to help you. Okay, so the next one is sales and purchases. So this one compares each the individually how much. Okay, how much? Okay, how many items you sold and how many items you bought. So that's a comparison report. Okay. Yes, so we bought 300, got 2 MPOs 200. Yes, so I think that's quite very direct. Yes, and I think with that we are done for today. But make sure to check out the other tutorials that will be released, the sales order and the other one for the customers. Yes, so I think that's it for today. You can check out our website and see, go through the modules one by one, read through and understand more about the sales products. And for any inquiries, the sales and support, you can contact us with the number of the website, but I'll indicate below. So thank you for today. Have a nice one.